everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Oyeni Furiperani Mashapa. And if you are here for the first time, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, a veteran in this channel, welcome once again for yet another exciting episode of Risk, Money and Insurance. If you're a new subscriber, don't forget to subscribe down below. And to old and new subscribers, don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you get notified whenever I post a new video, which is on a Thursday morning at 7 a.m. And in the past few weeks, we've been talking a lot about money, savings, spending money, investments. And so I thought to myself, why not talk about insurance, specifically risk products in insurance. And so today, opening this insurance conversation, we are going to be talking about funeral covers. Why are we talking about funeral covers? Because at the end of the day, we are all gonna die, and so we might as well prepare for the day that we die. And so in this video, we will unpack funeral covers. Everything that you need to know about funeral covers will be covered in this video, and so stay put and enjoy the video. Now, what are funeral covers, right? Funeral covers, this is a type of micro insurance product, which is a product that is intended for low-income people. But as I've mentioned in my other videos, the definition of micro insurance is changing because times are changing. And so this type of product offers you protection in two main ways. So the first way which it can offer you protection or cover is through a funeral service, right? And what do we mean by a funeral service? What we're saying is you can decide that you don't want money when you pass on or when people that are listed as beneficiaries in your funeral policy pass on. You don't want money, but rather you want the person whom you took out your policy with to give you a tombstone, or to give you a tombstone and a coffin, and so literally a whole funeral service. So that's the product you are buying. And the second way which funeral products give us cover is through a lump sum or money, which is normally paid within the first 24 or 48 hours of you submitting your claim. And so it is also important to note that funeral covers have become more complicated over the years, because now insurers are adding extra benefits to these policies, and some of these benefits include your pregnancy or unemployment payment holiday. You also have a funeral memorial service benefit. There is also grocery benefits. They give you money after the funeral for a period of 6 months or a year. Some funeral covers will also give you cash back. And so these are some of the things you need to be cautious of when you are buying your funeral cover, because at the end of the day, the main goal is for you to buy a product that meets your need, and also it's affordable to you as an individual. So another thing to note is the fact that funeral covers are normally priced based on age, and because a couple of people can be covered by the same policy. For example, you can cover your spouse, you can cover your children, you can cover your parents and members of your extended family. The premium that you will be charged on your funeral cover will depend mainly on the age of the individuals within the policy, right? So normally as actuaries, this is how we operate. Not a qualified actuary yet, but we're going there. But anyways, normally what we believe is the fact that the older you are, the more likely you are to die. So if your policy consists mainly of people who are older, then you are likely to pay a lot on your premium. And the younger the people in your policy are, the lower the premium that you will pay at the end of the day. And this is of course coupled by what type of cover you have taken out, and also how much is the benefit on that particular policy you have taken out. And for people who are older than 75 in South Africa, you are more likely to be rejected for your application to get a funeral cover, because insurers believe you are risky, you can die any day, so we don't want to take on that risk. So if you are trying to insure someone who's older than 75, good luck with that. You are less likely to actually get an insurer who will be able to take on such a risk. So in that case, you are better off just putting aside money in preparation for their funeral. Okay, cool. Now, I just want to give you guys a list of things to look out for when you buy your funeral cover, or the things that you must really consider. The first one is, of course, the price. At the end of the day, funeral covers can be quite expensive because you're covering a number of people, and there is very little underwriting on this product. By underwriting, we mean the process whereby an insurance company will assess the amount of risk you pose, and this includes them asking you questions about your lifestyle, them asking you questions about your finances, questions also about your state of health. And so with many funeral covers, you find that there is no opportunity for you to go through that whole underwriting process, which explains why they can be quite expensive, because now insurers don't know whether you are buying it because your grandmother is lying on a hospital bed or not. And so I would advise you to shop around before you say yes to anything. Shop around, compare the different covers. Also, it's important to know, what do you need from your funeral cover? Do you just want money in order to cover the funeral expenses, or do you just want a funeral service? Because in the Black community, we know funerals can be very, very expensive, from the cow to the tombstone to the coffin to the food that people have to eat for the whole week. Funeral covers, they do come in handy to help us deal with such a massive expense. And so shop around. Make sure that at the end of the day, when you commit to a certain funeral cover, it is the best cover that is there in the market, and it also gives you additional benefits that, you know, can actually go a long way if you pass on or a relative passes on. Then the second thing that I would like you to really be on the lookout for is what we call waiting periods. And in most funeral covers, this waiting period can actually range from 3 to 6 months or even a year, depending on the type of cover you've gotten. And this is a period where if anything happens, the insurer won't pay out anything. But I've seen variation of contracts that are out there in the market, which some insurers will give you your money back should anything happen to you within that specific period, which is a waiting period. So do be on the lookout for such things. These are the things that you should be asking the person who is selling you the contract. You know, it's very easy to buy those funeral covers these days. It's simple. Go to Google, just type funeral cover, get quotes from different people, and at the end of the day, what you need to make sure is that when they call you, you ask them relevant questions so that you understand the product that you are buying. And so moving on now to the third thing which you should be asking them, is exclusions, right? Understand exclusions that are there in that contract. What are they excluding? Are they excluding anyone over the age of 75? Are they excluding death that is caused by suicide? Or are they excluding any death that is resulting from any extreme activity like your bungee jumping? What are they excluding in this policy? Because at the end of the day, you don't want to be stranded, frustrated because your insurer just won't pay out. But then they will tell you you signed a contract which stipulates that we don't pay out death that is caused by 1, 2, 3. So it's important to understand what is excluded in my policy. And another thing which is quite important, which is the fourth thing which you should be asking the people selling you these funeral covers, is How do premiums increase over the years? Is it a fixed premium contract where my premium, if it's 45 rands, it will remain 45 rands for the rest of the policy term? Or premiums increase by a certain percentage every 5 years or every year, for example? So it's important to understand, because these are the things that at the end of the day, they affect our budgets. So it's important to ask them, how do my premiums increase over the years? And another thing, the fifth thing in this video that I want to tackle is a lot of people have 5-6 funeral covers. You know, I know with some of my family members, won't mention names, they have a funeral covers with provider A, provider B. They have the community burial society. They have the work burial society. They have the church burial society. Like, at the end of the day, a single person, especially in the Black community, we finance our death more than we finance, you know, we finance our kids' education, or we plan for our kids' education. And it's quite sad, because if you can calculate the amount that you spend on funeral covers on a monthly basis, it is a lot. And for a lot of people, they do this because at the end of the day, what they want is they want to ensure that they leave their children or their dependents with money, right? And I would suggest that if that's your sole purpose for having so many funeral covers, you are better off actually just getting life cover, for example, which is hint hint, a product that we'll cover in the next video. So be on the lookout for that. And also, another danger with you having a lot of funeral covers is the fact that you might end up being overinsured. Insurers might end up not paying because you're overinsured. So you don't want to put yourself in that position where now you were expecting that your dependents were going to get 100,000, for example, in case you pass on, and now they end up with only 50,000. So it's one thing that we need to keep in mind, so that at the end of the day, you don't end up in a situation where now we're angry at insurers, but we just didn't do it right. Anyways, the last thing that I want to tackle is also understand, when does your policy terminate, right? This is important because you don't want to be walking around thinking you are still covered by your funeral cover, whereas you are not. Like, understand, when does the cover terminate? For example, what happens when my dependents are over 18? Are they still covered by the same policy, or do they now need to have their own independent cover? It's important for you so that you plan your things accordingly. And also, another thing is, if you stop paying your premiums, you forfeit the premiums you've paid in the past, and the cover stops. If you die the next month after spending 2 months without, or a month without paying a premium, they won't pay out. So these are some of the things you should be on the lookout for. And another way is for you to actually go to the insurer and say, I don't need this contract anymore. Then you can terminate that product. But also, you need to understand, there might be fees associated with you doing that. There might be fees associated with you increasing your cover or including additional members in your cover. So at the end of the day, you need to understand what you're buying, first of all. And also, whatever you buy, you must ensure that it meets your needs as an individual. Come to the end of our video, and to everybody for watching, thank you. And happy funeral cover shopping, because we're all gonna die. Prepare for your death right now, or prepare for your dependents or your family members' death right now. And so thank you so much, guys, for coming to my channel. Thank you so much, and until next time, bye.